Good day, everyone. Thank you for joining this afternoon. I'm Teresa Lahome from Group 3, and we're here today to talk to you about the Leisure and Experience Society. But before we start, I would like to introduce my group, Charlize Jane Estelero and Lance Wacha. So, in the end of this chapter, the learning outcomes is understand the search for experiences, relate experience to imagination and meaning, extreme extreme sports and experiences, define and explain spiritual experiences and leisure. Understand leisure and the search for identity. Are we are we a Sikh society? So ano nga ba ang leisure? According to my search, leisure is defined as a freedom from work, school, or other responsibilities and tasks, and freedom provided by the cessations of activities, especially time free from work or duties. An example of leisure is the time after work has ended and all errands for the day have been run. So, the focus of my discussion is first, search for experiences, and second, experience, imagination, and meaning. So let's proceed to introduction. Introduction. The concept of leisure and human need have been difficult to understand and harder to try to explain. Sabi dito, ang konsepto daw ng leisure ay malawak ito at mahirap unawain o explain. Sabi nga ang leisure ay dapat mo munang ma-experience ito para ito ay mag-exist. Experience as a key motivating factor for leisure participation. A key motivating factor for leisure is parang mapart mapaparticipate o maisasagawa ng individual or group of individual sa tinatawag na leisure activities at yun yung at ang experience yun yung key motivating factor. A search for experience. Experience can perhaps be explained scientifically in psychological terms, but to most people, experience is a word beyond description. Wiser people might say it's about being and feeling wordless. Pag daw sinabing psychological is the branch of physiology that is concerned with the relationship between mental and physical processes. It is the scientific study of interaction between mind and body. Ibig sabihin, pag sinabi daw ng psycho, ano nga ba ang mga things na nakakapag-satisfy ng ating mga isip, ng mga ating mga utak, at ang physiological naman daw, ito naman daw yung what is satisfied um, as physically. But para sa karamihan ng mga karamihan ng mga tao ngayon daw, ang word na karanasan o experience sa karamihan is word beyond description. So it means wordless na. Pero sa mga wiser people, pwede nilang sabihin o paniwalaan na ito ay isang tungkol sa nararamdaman ng mga tao o karanasan ng isang tao. Jacob 2002, a case can be made to describe modern Western culture as increasingly becoming an experience society, and that experience is taking precedence precedence over traditional social processes and products. Pine and Gilmore, 1999, following Pine and Gilmore's The Experience Economy work is either and ever business as stage, suggests that we now find ourselves in an economy in which experience has become the most predominant commodity. Most money is earned nowadays Most money is earned nowadays by offering experiences, entertainment, and dreams, whether or not linked to material products or services. The growth of influence of experiences is a social phenomenon that overrides the economy. Hmm. So it all affects all aspects of Western culture. Social costumes are no longer as prominent in modern society, and the good experiences that give our lives meaning and purpose have stepped in to fill the voids. As a result, we may discuss the experience of society, not of society, not that people experience things or people have done that before, but rather that the experience is increasingly trumping variety of social processes is what is new or different. Castles 2000 in the Information Age Economy, Society and Culture state that in contemporary culture, important social processes and functions shift from traditional institutions, nation, state, religion, local culture, and family, towards a diversity of cultural communities, networks of people from worldwide to local scale or organized around specific values. If it experience that counts, this has profound implications for leisure managers and their leisure services. What people experience is more important than, for example, product and place or even price. Marketing bureaus remind us that people want to buy dreams. Jensen 1999 in the Dream Society captures the same mood and trend. Businesses have reached a new frontier of imagination, emotion, and dreams. Consumption goods needs what Wolfe 1999 described as the E factor, the entertainment factor, simply selling good products does not work anymore, particularly in the leisure industry. In Western culture, individualism has taken center stage, whereas in tradition-based cultures, self-identity is determined to an extent by social rules and norms. The traditional social structures found in communities centered on coal mining and sea fishing, for example, ensured that sons follow their fathers into coal mining and fishing. Today, even if gold mines and fishing fleets still exist, young people given the ability and opportunity can take up careers that attract them rather than following tradition. However, the loss of social structures and tradition leaves voids that need to be filled positively if people's needs are to be met. The extent to which leisure can have an influence is under continuing debate. Sociologists in the 1960s talked optimistically of a leisure age. Will it ever come, and do people want it? The first 20 things to do before you die. Here are the first 20 things to do before you die. Swim with dolphins, scuba dive on a Great Barrier Reef, fly Concorde to New York, go whale watching, dive with sharks, skydiving, fly in a hot air balloon, fly in a fighter jet, go on safari, see the northern lights, walk the Inca Trail to Machu Picchu, climb Sydney Harbour Bridge, escape to a paradise island, drive a Formula One car, go whitewater rafting, walk the Great Wall of China, bungee jumping, ride the Rocky Mountaineer train, drive along Route 66, and fly in helicopter over the Grand Canyon. In September 2000, in September 2003, a BBC television program called 50 Things to Do Before You Die presented the finding of a survey about the things rich people felt they must do in their lifetime. And the BBC television said they survey all British people kung ano ang kanilang nararamdaman at kung ano ang dapat nilang gawin sa kanilang buhay. Mostly ang sagot nila is all about adventure, exploration, exhilarating and risky activities, and visiting famous tourist destinations featured strongly. And merong desires ang mga tao para ma-engage sa tinatawag na leisure activities. Of course, affected by the following. Depend on what they have seen on television, heard on the radio, read about in the press, seen on the movies or found on the internet. Experiencing action, experiencing the wonders of nature and to watch the landscape. Experience, imagination, and meaning. T.S. Eliot, the poet and winner of a Nobel Prize for Literature, wrote of incompleteness of having the experience but missing the meaning. Jacob 2002 links experience to meanings and imagination and believes that imagination is precondition of experience. Meaning is a precondition of experiences. Imagination is the production of meaning. Okay, so what we experience is not the outer world first, but the mental construction we build upon similar process by the senses and organized by meanings stored in the brain. Meanings are preconditioned for experiences. The meanings in the brain of individual are produced during the course of his life. We can call this production of meaning either meaning-giving processes or imagination. Literally speaking, imagination is the production of images. In the sense used here, imagination is the production of mental images. Mental images are networks of meanings. Hence, imagination is the production of meanings. In the experience society, imagination is an important momentum because meanings organize experiences. Since meaning is a precondition of experience, what implications are there for the leisure manager? The destination market provides good example. The place experience industry has to take control over the imagination of visitors in order to design the experiences. Jacob provides an example of how producers mark places with meanings in a materialistic way. He cites the example of resort along the Mediterranean coast, which are planted with palm trees to optimize the holiday experience of tourists. Quality experience for leisure purposes can be, even though palm trees were not indigenous to the areas, quality experiences for leisure purposes can be decisive factors in determining visit and investments. People are willing to pay for the experience in terms of business. Producers are having to provide more spectacular or meaningful experience to maintain or capture market share. The growth in the tourism market of experiences is testimony to these assertions People are experiencing landscapes of beauty and wonder, or standing in places of history, or engaging in activities for adventure and even exposure to risk.
Sports and experiences. One physical demonstration of the experience society is the growth in extreme sports, which provide adventure, risk, and sometimes identifying experiences. Well, extreme sports are about individuality, to develop your own skills, knowing your strength, and to discover more of yourself. It is about a higher and higher levels of achievement of your own growth as an individual, but not necessarily to be the best, but trying your best. It must be one of the process to redefining your performance boundaries that leads to your personal satisfaction that comes from trying your best. Extreme sports are deliver a sense of accomplishments whether you establish a new level of ability or simply challenge yourself while having a great time. To broaden the topic, here are some examples of extreme sports that are popular as it is its extreme level. Bungee jumping. It is a simple yet thrilling recreational activity that involves head-first jumping from a tall structure with a electrical cord. Next is barefoot water skiing. It is basically water skiing without the skis. In order for the skier to achieve the perfect balance, the participant's weight and the speed of the falling moving vehicle is calculated to allow the skier to use the barefoot technique to their best ability. Next is whitewater rafting. It is a common group leisure activity that involves using an inflatable raft to travel through rough water. Whitewater rafting as an extreme sport is often carried out on dangerous sections of water with various obstacles to overcome. It is an exhilarating sport, either a way that it is fun and builds team spirit. Free-diving. Free-diving is a form of underwater diving that involves diving without the breathing aid that traditional diving encompasses. It is done for the divers' skills and ability to hold their breath for as long as possible. Next is abseiling. Abseiling was from a German word abseilen, which means to rope down, and it is also known as rappelling from French rappeler, which means to recall or to pull through. It is a sport involves climbing down the front of a large rock or a tall building while holding onto a rope. Spiritual experiences and leisure. The Asclepian Temple of Epidaurus was a complex and cultural facilities including 14,000-seat amphitheater which is still used for performance of Greek tragedies. It would have been like one of today's large sports and leisure centers, but with a difference. At such temple, patients would be put into incubation for several nights until Asclepius, the half-mortal son of Apollo, appeared to them in a dream and diagnosed their complaint. Today, there are dream healing pilgrimages advertised as a parousia for mental and spiritual ills and an antidote to modern day stress. The reasoning is that by dreaming and discussing our dreams, we can tap into our minds, our own problem solving technique.
Leisure and search for identity. Some fortunate people find life satisfaction in their work and are able to identify themselves in terms of their occupation. However, can also find life satisfaction in their leisure interests, activities, and pastimes, and they can become known for this pursuit rather than they do at work. Some business person are not known for their business but rather on what they do in their pastime. Like for example, if you know Small Laude, she has a lot of business but she is known for his blogging. But both those things can find his life satisfaction or can meet his life satisfaction. What is the connection between people's apparent search for identity and leisure? It states that leisure helps us in self-development. Even others are risking time, money, loved ones, and even their lives. There will be a variety of personal motivations, the drive for success, the need to overcome difficulties and hardship, and the desire to be somebody. Maslow described people's need and search as peak experience. And what is peak experience? Peak experience are some of those high moments in life when one is totally immersed to an experience or activity. Many people's self-fulfillment is a variety of fears and leisure, them the freedom to be or become all they believe they are capable of. The search for identity is important in understanding leisure behavior. It is a search for the whole person and not a split person. There's an idea that emphasizes a unification of the body, mind, and spirit through movement and meditation and deep relaxation. But with the rise of emotional distress and mental illness in the West, we have to ask the question whether, in addition to being an experienced society, we are also a sick society. And are we sick society? Clearly, depression results in lowering a personal self-esteem and full enjoyment of life. And this negative theme become established habits, especially in young people. And one of those are stress. With all the stress, according to Anita Chaudhry, that British women spend 300 million euros on headache tablets. And also there is a chronic overuse of headache tablets or headache drugs that sometimes yung pagkakos na ng headache is yung pag-overuse ng headache tablets. And next is human distress. One of the causes of human distress is our vanity because of the want to look good or attractive. For example of this is weight loss. Marami sa atin is wanting to look physically fit but sa sobrang extreme na ng pagda-diet is nagiging opposite yung gusto na maging goal to be attractive is the opposite thing na nangyayari and they become more unattractive. Because young people are also suffering from depression and low self-esteem. Every year, an estimated 160,000 people, 24,000 of those are teenagers that are admitting self-harm or suicide, and nag-i-increase siya over time. Some adults, younger people, and teenagers feel that they have to purchase material goods to keep with their vice. So they buy prestige, friendship, and belongings. And yung mga expensive na bagay. Next is the over-engage in mobile phones. We are over-engaged in mobile phones na pagkagising at bago matulog is kaharap natin ito. Results to the many lives are being lived in an instant society. And that instant society is for instant attention and action.